Hi, I'm Skyler. I want to tell you about something that happened. Mrs. Keck found that there were book buddies over in the reading area on her first day back at work here at Osceola Elementary. The book buddies were there for students to hold during reading time. But what Mrs. Keck didn't know was that the book buddies were magic. That day, when Mrs. Keck went home and the school was empty, the book buddies began to climb out of their basket. Baloo the monkey climbed up the window blinds to peek outside. He didn't even notice that he left dirty paw prints, and his claws tore a hole in the blinds. And Googie Gator pressed all the keys on the computer and played with the mouse. He didn't care that the computer wouldn't work right for the next person. Siam and Penny pushed books all around on the shelves so they could go climbing. They didn't care that the students wouldn't be able to see all the books or that some might even get lost. Scooby and Butch pulled books off the shelves and onto the floor. They didn't care that the books were no longer in their proper homes and the students would have a hard time finding exactly what they wanted. Pink, Uni, and Siam fought over crayons and iPods, and they left them laying all over the floor. Pink almost even broke one of the iPods. They didn't think about how they wouldn't be available for other students to use. Lyle climbed all over Gus, and then he climbed all over Verde. He was having so much selfish fun that it didn't bother him that he wasn't being kind to them. After all their fun, the book buddies were tired, so they curled up together over on the sofa in the story area, and they went to sleep. When Mrs. Keck returned to the media center the next day, she found that it was a complete wreck. She knew that nobody would want to come in and visit the media center with it looking so awful, and the children would never be able to find the exact book they wanted to read, with them scattered all over the place. She worked all day long cleaning up the terrible mess, even though she didn't make it, because she wanted the students to have a neat and pretty place to enjoy instead of a sloppy, ugly mess. She wondered who could have come in while she was gone. As she finished cleaning, she put the book buddies back in their basket and went home. The next day she came back and once again found the media center a mess and the book buddies on the sofa. Again she straightened everything up, and the next day it happened again. That made 3 days in a row. Mrs. Keck was sad and getting tired of cleaning up all the mess. She decided to sneak back to the media center at night to see if she could figure out what was going on. Mrs. Keck caught the book buddies red-handed. She scolded them for making such a mess of the media center. She explained that it wasn't fair to everyone else to mess everything up. The book buddies felt sorry for what they had done. They realized they weren't using good media center manners. From then on, the book buddies promised to do better. They sat nicely in the story area and listened while being read a story. They also learned to walk and not run or climb in the media center. They learned how to raise their hands. They learned how to keep the books on the shelves organized, taking one book at a time off the shelf and using a shelf marker. They also learned to turn the pages carefully. They learned how to be careful with the equipment like iPods and iPads so it would be available for everyone to use. They learned how to use the computer and to sit up straight and gently press the keys. The book buddies were so well behaved that the students were able to actually enjoy reading to them. It's important to be kind to others, to use the shelf markers, and keep the media center neat, and to take care of your books, and to take care of all of the great equipment. Well, have a great year.